welcome to 4pm. My name is Dean Stevenson. I'm the 4pm guy. I'm the guy who thought of this crazy thing, which has been running for a while now at Mona. In fact, this is the 4th season. They like it so much. And perhaps you do too. Perhaps you won't. It doesn't matter. I'll be here anyway. Some days we all leave here going, that was amazing. What a great process of creation. What a great piece. Amazing. Woo. And some days we leave here going, fuck. But that's also the point. Just making something in front of you. So if you come to you see stuff that's on the wall frame. This is the Sydney Nolan Snake, 20 panels, amazing. And he put a lot of effort into every single one of them. And it's easy to think that it is exactly as he imagined. It's easy to think that he was really pleased with it. It's easy to think that he just made one and never did it again because it was perfection, and he just went to the pub and went, yeah, woo, I'm awesome. Chances are he couldn't stand it. Chances are he hated it. Chances are he wanted to make 5 more because that was shit. Chances are, who knows what he was thinking, because we often don't think about the process of making a thing. So I said to Mona I would be here and do that. So I'm sitting at the piano here. Sitting. Today we've been doing it now for 466 days. That's how many days a new piece of music has been written and rehearsed in front of you. So these guys are yet to play, hear, know anything about today's music. I'm going to tell them at the same time as I'm telling you. So that's it, and you'll watch us put it together, and we'll have a little bit of a rehearsal, and then by the end of our rehearsal we'll have made marks, and maybe you'll give some feedback as to what you think we should do, and then we'll play it all the way through. How's that for a plan? Good? All right. So the pencils are already out. Okay, there's a 4pm. If you have a drink now, there's a 4pm drinking game. There's a bar around the corner. You must get a drink because the game's really fun. Yay! Pick one of the musicians now in the ensemble. Choose one of the 4.
I choose Susanna.
Viola. Okay, the viola player. Every time the viola player touches her pencil, you have a drink. All right, that's the way the game goes. Right, please give your love to today's ensemble of Miranda, Hayato, Susanna, and Sophie. Okay. Think of any questions you might want to ask. You're probably thinking, I've always wanted to talk to a cellist. Or I've always wanted to, I don't know. No? Maybe not. Don't talk to the cellist then. All right. If you can see that screen, my score will whiz by on that screen. If you can't see the screen, there's a paper copy of today's piece, but don't run away with that. I'll need that back. But you can be welcome to have a look at that as we rehearse and play. Here we go. Right. So, what was I thinking of this morning? A tiny melody. I actually end up with 3 little melodies. So I've got a spreadsheet. There's often the question, say, what's your inspiration? And most of the time I say, just getting out of bed and showing up. There's no idea at all. That's kind of the point. But I do keep a spreadsheet of little favourite melodies that pop up in prior pieces that I've written here. Sometimes if the piece is that long, and mostly it's like, meh. But in here there's like this little 4-bar phrase that's good. That just kind of popped out of nowhere, so I might kind of put a circle around that and sort of extract that and use that as a seed for another day. So I did that.
Stationary.
Oh, you want to? Oh, yeah. So I did that, and as I was doing it, there's a kind of I was thinking of an old friend, Don, who's departed this world. A good old friend, who's quite a lot older than me. Almost like a surrogate granddad, you know. What are you doing?
Sorry, I got too ambitious with a pencil early on.
He used his pencil too much.
Sorry.
Dear. Hayato, second violin. If you chose Hayato, have a drink now. Okay. What I think there is like I'm going to call it the granddad melody, the grandfatherly kind of. But as I was doing that, a couple of other little melodies came in. I tried to make them all kind of dance and do something together. So it feels to me like it's sort of granddad, dad, and grandson, kind of like it's a piece about the ages and the family. Let's see if we can identify what these melodies are. It starts with viola and cello. This is kind of I'm going to call this the melody number 1. Maybe this is the fatherly thing. Now that there is melody number 1, so that's kind of which will come back again. You'll hear that one, dee da dee da 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 da, and then comes in this little kind of folk-like thing. The tempo is the same, so after we hear that, we go from let's do it from A again, just from A, so we can hear that, establish that. Now we go back to this first melody, high in the violins. Instead of E. Good, so we've got this crazy high cello line, which is actually kind of mimicking that first, the boyish line, the folk line. Let's go from the E again. Dee, da, dee, dee.
Is this still a good tempo?
Yep. And then second. Good, and hold that, and then that little pause, and then everyone comes in together at G. So we've heard this. So there's a little boyish melody, and then there's kind of the dad's melody, and now we're going to hear melody 1, which was called the kind of the fatherly melody, back with a lot of pride. This is like the full realization of it at a G.
Is this G?
G, yep.
G. Now here we have, hold it there, so make any notes you want. They're going to touch pencils now, get your drinks ready. Someone's going to touch their pencils. Just write something, just draw cock and balls on your, I don't know what, doesn't matter what it is. Do you want the bar before G quiet? Is it?
Yes, but bar before G quiet.
And then start in G really soft.
Yep.
I didn't start G.
So we've heard this kind of fatherly melody and then the boyish melody come in. So far it's going to plan. It's amazing that like, I'm hearing it. They are sight reading this, by the way. This is a new piece and they're sight reading it. So if you think, oh, this is sounding impressive, they're just, it's the first time. They're circus freak, clever, it's very good. Okay, so what we're going to hear now is the third melody, and this is one of these melodies on my dear departed friend. This is like a 4-bar phrase that I picked from his inspiration. So here we go. This is the full J. Yep.
some notes, touching pencils, have a drink. Yeah, no one picked me actually. I've got my pencil in my hand the whole time. You could be just slugging them back the whole time, but no one picked me. Right, has anybody thought of a question yet? Is anybody really, really confused or really challenged? Oh, great, you're all awesome. Well done. Okay, any questions from you? No?
All good, I think, yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
okay. So listen now, I hope you can hear the distinction between those three melodies. I've taken pains to point them out, but I'll keep mentioning them as they come and go so you can hear the dance between them. And getting things to sort of dance that way as opposed to one, then another, then another, then another. God damn, that's hard as a writer. It's really hard.
At N, when
N,
Susanna's playing, I've got a forte, but maybe, I don't know what everyone else is, but maybe we'll be just be a bit
Yeah, below,
less
that's right.
than that.
Yep,
Yeah.
true. You let the viola free.
Let the viola through.
Not seen as like a string quartet before. This is what they look like.
Always.
They always look like this. Yes. The cellist always wearing glasses. No, 2 violins, viola, cello is the standard. Good. Should we go from N then?
Yep.
2, 3. D, that melody, so the last note was kind of the interesting one. I could have gone like D, how do I get to play it? B, D, dum bum, da ba da ba dum bum. Thank you for shopping at Marina. It's that kind of shitty jingle thing. I could have done that, but it's that last note, D, 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 ma. It's that one there, sort of leads it on somewhere, so you're playing with notes all the time. Thank you for showing me. What the fuck, wow. So, into youth, beats 3 and 4 are cello, da.
So Sophie slows down, but then we tempo it up again.
Tempo at you, yep.
Tempo it up.
Tempo it up. Yay, that's what Bach called it, tempoing it up. That's great. So at R we have the full this is the full boyish theme, full young theme.
Yeah.
Let's say yes.
Cool, and it's straight in tempo there.
Straight in tempo.
Sophie, what do you have in the bar before R, just so I know what to listen to?
A long note.
Okay. What note is it?
It's in there.
Thank you.
Okay. Do you want to go from R?
Difference.
Can we go from R, letter R?
Yep.
And I'll see if the people at home have any questions.
you want
Dee
that?
dum ya.
Do you want that accented?
Yeah, yeah. Dee dum ba da ba dee yeah.
So that's
It's
it.
kind of like, where'd you go?
The third beat of the second bar of W.
That's it. That's it. And I forgot to talk to you about that. Is that okay with that akapits for you? Just a little yeah. You can come off earlier on the arco if you like. Yeah. Boom. Yeah. So even almost like a. Yeah, fine. Good. Great. Thank you. Lovely.
From
Dabya.
Dabya?
Dabya. Don't just speak so quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to hear the
okay,
dissonance.
sorry.
So resolve on the beat one of
Was it just here?
third bar. Yeah.
Sure.
Gotcha. Yep.
Yeah.
Again.
3. Oh.
We're back in here. So just look at the rhythms we have.
Sophie can
goes. We've got the whole but 2 bars for X or quavers.
All quavers, okay.
Da da dee da 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 together in the yola.
Do you want to just lead that root? I think
From the second bar
second
before.
bar before X.
Where's the root start, sorry?
Dee 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 da da. But beat 4.
Oh, yeah, okay. I don't have quavers in the
Okay,
bar before
I'll
X,
I'll
so-
lead it. I just know what you've got. Yeah. I'm from W again.
W.
W.
Make that. Sorry, W. Make it last a bit longer. Yeah. Don't go
Yeah.
too quickly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Did you like it that time or
Yeah, but do it longer though.
longer?
Yeah, yeah. Want to hear that resolve in the viola.
3.
Key change. I'm yet to be convinced that this Z to double A might just be a little secret little pile of shit. I have no idea why it's there. Can't tell you. It could just be like I don't know, like a thorn in my side.
We'll
No
try,
idea.
mate.
It was meant to be like a bridge between one thing and another. It could just.
Maybe we won't go so slow. Like we'll wind down into
Okay.
double A, like
Yeah.
or something.
Yep. Okay.
I'll just lead it.
That was all good. So again, so it's solo crotchet with cello 2 bars for Z. Where do you want to go from?
Maybe 2 before the Z.
Yep, yep. Yep.
Oh, is it just me?
Yeah.
You. Ta-da! Right. Here we go. Got to the end. There's now pencils flashing. Have a drink. The bar's probably still open. Go get yourself another one if you've run out. No, please. Does anybody have anything they want to ask? Any questions? You go on? Yes. No, the good question was, do they read each other's parts? No, and that's the reasons for the pencils, because they only see their part. Now, a composer with more time than me might be able to write some cues on there. For example, if say cello and first violin come in together, I could write a cue that says on the first violin part that says with cello, and then she would know. But I don't have enough time, nor do I care. Anyway, they've got to touch their pencils because you've got drinking to do, right? That's the game. So that's why they're looking at who's with them, the notes to say, at this particular point, look at that person. So they're making their own kind of map, if you like, as to who they look at, what decisions are made by who at what point, who leads the bar, who's got the beat one. For example, if they're all together but suddenly the viola's on beat one, then they bring it in, so they all look and they write that on their part. So the score means all parts. Violin 1, violin 2, viola, cello. But they only see theirs. If they had everyone else's part, it would just be so much information, it would overload them, and there'd be so much paper, it'd be crazy. Good question.
Yes.
Any other questions? Yes? Am I the guy that made Mona? No, I'm not the guy that made Mona. Who? I've got more, he's got more hair. Yeah, he's older and uglier than I am. He won't mind me saying that either.
And richer.
And he's a fuckload richer. But he does fund this. You know, he looks at me from his little glass panel up there on the roof and sort of waggles his little grey finger, the one that you use to eat. Who dined in Faro and used his finger to eat with? Yeah, he's like a ceramic David Walsh finger and you eat off it. Yeah. He's in America. He's not looking at you now. No. Any other questions? Yes. Good question. Are these guys used to playing with each other, and is that important? That's the best question. Is that important? So this project has a roster of about 20, 25 musicians. It's actually rare. It's the same ensemble 2 days in a row, and sometimes even as recently as last week we're 466 days in, and last week we still had a combination that had never played together in that particular unit. So.
But we have played together.
You have played together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Us four.
Yeah.
That's why we sound so together.
Yes, and doesn't matter. That's a good question. In theory, it shouldn't matter because if you train for the instrument, you train to play anything, and you should be able to sub in for anyone else. That's what their profession's all about. They just swap and change. And circus freak, clever though, right? Fucking hell. Yes. Yes, it's for. I heard you say two things there. I heard you say it must be very cool to get instant feedback. I thought you said it must be very cruel to get instant feedback. Which yes, sometimes yes, because I'm like sitting here going, fuck, I wrote this. Oh my god, it's terrible. Hang on a second, I haven't finished answering this one. Put your bloody hand up, for fuck's sake. Yes, it is great to get that instant feedback because I don't play any of those for instruments. I don't even play the piano. I honestly don't. So it's awesome to get humans to tell me what's good, what's better, play at different speed, and it's just like I can't imagine. So it's awesome. It's a great thing. And some days we all just leave in our heads going, well, we did our best, but whatever. And some days it's good. Right. Should we give today a crack? Oh, more questions. Sorry. Oh yes. Sorry. Have I thought about doing stand-up comedy? What the fuck do you think this is? Jesus Christ. You think it's about music? Fooled you, didn't I? Right, let's play today's from the top. We don't know how it's going to go as a piece, whether it'll hold together, because stopping and starting it sounds interesting, but let's hear what it's like as a whole piece. This is the 4th season of 4pm, and they've already booked a 5th, and who knows how long it'll go for. So within 4 seasons, we as I said, this little grandpa melody was from a previous season that I made a spreadsheet and went, don't let that die. That's a really good one. Save that, plant that. And so with that spreadsheet comes an admission of quality, an admission to myself and to you that sometimes, like that little dee-da-da-dum-dum, that melody there, it's like, oh yeah, that's really good. And some days they're just not, and my provocation is, I like the ones that are good, we all do, but the ones that are bad, I've made a deal with the Mona Devil to show you all of my bad stuff. You probably don't show anybody, you just hide it in the drawer or in boxes in the garage, but do it anyway. It's just to show up anyway and just do stuff. And sometimes, like there's some recordings, there's some, if you're old school and play CDs, they come with downloads, or you can just buy downloads of our favourite stuff, including the last one, Monster in the Lake. Oh, that's a cracker, very proud of that one. Recorded in our own studio down at the end, you probably saw it with the Abbey Road recording desk. Or there's this book, and I'll tell you about this before we play the piece. This is called 150 First Drafts. For 150 days I sat here, I was sitting here, I was sitting here at the piano. And I kept a journal. I wouldn't leave the building until I'd finished a journal entry because I knew I'd go home and just cry. So I did this, and then I published them 150 days of each day. And through this book, through a QR code, you can see we record everything. So there's 11 hours of music just in the first 150. How many is it now with 466? No idea. But you can read about the process of just showing up. This is my offering to you as a creator, just to read about that process. Imagine if you could, read, if Picasso kept a diary for every day he was painting, I don't know, Guernica or something rather, and you could just like, on day 4, he wanted to set it on fire because he hated it so much. Wow, and then we now recognise it as a masterpiece, but how did he feel on the way through? I thought that would be kind of an insight into creativity. That's what the book's about. Let's go. 400, and you don't want me to, no. 466, I've called this one Fathers and Sons. Thank you, Miranda. Thank you, Hayato. Thank you, Susanna, Sophie. My name is Dean. That's day 466. Another one tomorrow. 4 p.m. rolls on. If you want to come and have a chat to me about any of the recordings of our favourites we've made, there's a live stream, there's a Patreon page, there's a book, there's a whole bunch of ways you can connect. Not necessarily with merch, although giving you money is great, but also just with the talking about the concept of being creative and showing up to doing something every day. Come and have a chat. Thank you very much. Have a lovely weekend. Bye bye.